Hello everyone, this is Jacob Goji here, and today I'm going to be reviewing the Jazwares Five Nights at Freddy's Endo series, Classic Freddy and Withered Freddy. So you might be thinking, well, I don't really do Five Nights at Freddy's reviews on this channel because, I gave some of my Five Nights at Freddy's stuff away as when I was 15, but I'm kind of starting to get back into Five Nights at Freddy's anyway, so I'm glad to have the set in hand. I mean, this set is really cool, I've heard a lot of good things about it, but isn't this set worth picking up? Well, let's not waste any more time and take a look at the figures. Starting off with the packaging, I gotta say, the box looks really cool. I mean, we got the nice picture of Freddy, and it shows the two figures, the suits inside, including the Endo frame. And it says includes Endo 1 in character parts, snap-on pieces, and then glowing eyes. And it says Endo series, and then there's the power level right there. So here's the front of the box. Here's the side of the box. Nothing more windows over there. Here's the other side, and here's the back. And on the back it shows shows the two figures right there, including the Endoskeleton. And then here's the one you can collect. So you got Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy. I'm gonna see if I can try to find Bonnie, probably at Walmart or Target. And I heard Chica and Foxy are already out too. Here's the top, and here's the bottom. And it says Jazwares, and then all that stuff. Well, now let's get this set out of the box. All right, so now we got the set out of the box. This is pretty much what you're gonna get. You got the Endo frame, you got Classic Freddy, and Withered Freddy. And then you get these instructions, which I'm not sure if you guys are gonna need them or not, but who knows? Probably some kids may need the instructions, but I don't know. But anyways, let's take a look at the Endo frame first. Starting off with the Endo frame, and I gotta say, it actually looks really cool, It looks just like the Endoskeleton from the actual game, This is pretty much the Endoskeleton for the animatronics, so this is how they function. And then there's the eyeballs, which looks pretty cool, and you can see there's a little bit of a brown wash to it to make it look dirty. And the articulation's really good, The jaw is on a hinge, and then the head is on a swivel, and then the arms are on swivels and hinges as well. You can get a lot of great range on this figure. You can get the Endoskeleton to tons of poses. The waist is movable, and even the legs. So you can get the Endo series, the Endoskeleton to bend. How cool is that? This is probably the most posable FNAF figure ever. But yeah, so articulation on this figure is actually pretty good for a $24 figure. And I really like the Endo frame itself. Nice details and all that. But anyways, let's get started with the suits. Alright, so to put on the suit, now this is going to be really hard. So to put on the parts, you gotta separate these two parts carefully. So just be careful not to break them. And you can see that there's some letters labeled on there. So then you put the suit onto the Endo frame. And there we go. Pretty simple. Now let me I'll be right back and I'll put on the actual suit. Alright, now that we got the suit on, and whoa. I gotta say, this is really cool, the way Freddy looks. He just looks awesome. He looks really accurate to the games. The proportions are really right. This is a lot better than the Funko figures, unlike where they have the stupid upper teeth. But at least this one doesn't, But and the paint job on this figure is actually pretty good, to be honest, But it does have a few issues. I mean, I just wish it was a little bit more dirtier, I wish it wasn't this shiny, but And I kind of wish they painted the ears a brighter brown color, but that's okay though. And we got the jaw can move, which is really cool, the Endo frame's jaw can move with the suit, and then his head can rotate, and then his arms can move as well. But it's not going to have as much range because the suit is on, and then you still get pretty good range at the hips and the feet, so you can get Freddy to jump scare you like this. Yeah, I gotta say, I can probably consider this figure to be the definitive Freddy Fazbear figure. Like, this is probably the best Freddy Fazbear figure we've ever gotten, unlike the Funko figures, you know? So, but when it comes to paint, I think Funko did better with the paint because it was more dirtier. And I kind of wish they painted the eyelids. But, you know, I'm still happy to have this figure. But anyways, let's get on to Withered Freddy. And last but not least, here we have Withered Freddy. And this is the first Withered Freddy figure that we've ever gotten. And I gotta say, this figure looks insane, you know? For a first attempt of a Withered Freddy figure, it's actually really good, you know? I really like the head sculpt. Looks just like Withered Freddy, like in the games. And then you can see all the damage right here, like the holes. That's a really nice detail. And then you can see a little bit of weathering, which is really cool. I think my only little nitpick with this figure is the lack of paint on the Withered animatronics. Like, you know, there's not enough dry brushing in the crevices, you know. But I don't know if I can customize that, or maybe give it more of a black wash. I don't know. Let me know if you guys want me to customize this figure or not. But I'm probably not going to do that because, you know, this is my first Withered Freddy figure. But who knows? I might do it, or maybe I won't. Yeah, but the details are spot on. And he has better articulation than classic Freddy. Jaw can still move, but you can get him into like many cool poses, like, you know, like a jump scaring pose, like, you know. Freddy doesn't really run like this at you at the game, but, you know, but it's really cool, you know. You can have him be like he's attacking, like yeah. But anyways, one cool thing you can do is that you can pop out the eyes. Now that's really cool. Yeah, so you can have you can pop the eyes out, so you can recreate that scene where Freddy's looking at the camera in FNAF 2. Yeah, that's a pretty cool feature, how they can allow you to remove the eyes. And I can't wait to get Withered Bonnie. I'm still trying to find Withered Bonnie in Walmart and Target, but I'm still surprised that they don't have them. But maybe I'll try looking in another Walmart, or maybe try to find them at GameStop. I don't know. So yeah, that's all for Withered Freddy. Now I gotta say, these figures are perfect. I just love the way how they're made. This is the definitive Freddy Fazbear figure. I just love the glowing eyes, which is just crazy. And these figures are almost perfect, but I just wish some of them had more paint on it. But overall, these figures are really fun, and I recommend you guys picking these guys up before it's too late. Find them at Target or Walmart. Well, that's all for now. Thanks for watching. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.